Charter schools are not about unanimity. They are about public school choice. Today we have come here before the School Reform Commission for the fourth time in our fourth public hearing to demonstrate our support for this school. The question before you today is, will you hear that support? This is a stack. Each one of you received this, of 1,500 signatures from individuals and organizations citywide that attest to the integrity and leadership of Asian Americans United, an organization that has fought for 20 years for educational equity and justice. Will you hear these voices? In the audience today, I would like to introduce a number of prominent individuals who have come in support of our school and our organization, and I would ask you to please stand. Mr. Jimmy Chang, Mr. Chen Jin Ho, and Mr. Simon Liu of the Fujian Association of Greater Philadelphia. Mr. Ma, President of Anyang Association, President of the Chinese Benevolent Association, and a representative of the Chinatown Merchants Association. Reverend Robert Stein, Dr. of Philadelphia and Vicinity, Professor Walter Palmer, Dr. Martin Ryder, Rachel Hoffman, please all stand. Please stand, please. Rachel Hoffman, CEO of Voltalk Studios, Professor Jan Vanderspiegel of the University of Pennsylvania, Jan, Philadelphia Chinese Opera Society, Kulu Mili, the African American Dance Ensemble, Rosemary Kubas, Community Leadership Institute, Lois Fernandez of Odunde, Rita Adessa, Lesbian Gay Task Force, Suzu Chung, Hongar Tongsu. In addition, we have parents, grandparents, uncles, and aunts today. I ask all those in favor of this charter school to please stand up.
In 1957, as the founder of Black People's University of Philadelphia, I stood before the Philadelphia Board of Education to advocate on behalf of the forgotten children of Philadelphia. These children are largely poor, black, semi-literate, and forgotten, except by those of us who saw it our mission to look for educational alternatives outside the system to help these children. In 1967, I, along with hundreds of students and parents, stood before the Board of Education demanding that African Americans be proportionally represented in the Board of Education, administration, classrooms, and staffs of Philadelphia schools. We also requested that African American history be taught throughout the system, that there be a student bill of rights, and that black parents be an integral part of community participation in education. In 1977, we returned to the Board of Education as community watchdogs to monitor what progress had been made over the previous 10 years. In 1987, we returned to this place with teachers, parents, and students to commemorate the 20th anniversary of that 1967 meeting. In 1997, I and other members of the community appealed to the superintendent of Philadelphia Schools to support the charter school legislation and its hearings proposed by the Governor Tom Ridge and Secretary of Education Eugene Hickman. Today, I stand before this Philadelphia State Reform Commission to give my unqualified support for the Folk Arts and Cultural Treasure Charter School. I am proud to say that I have had the pleasure of working with Asian Americans United and the Philadelphia Folklore Project, and these two groups are representative of the few voices who have dared to care about the preservation of the history, culture, customs, values, and social mores of minority communities. The very essence of the charter school movement was to allow those who are often left out of the education process to participate in the process and bring new and innovative ideas to education. as well as their ability to critique public, private, and local education, past and present. This is precisely why Secretary Hickok and Governor Ridge have recommended that I be a voice that would sit with the State Board of Education in Pennsylvania. The folk arts and cultural treasure Bax Charter School will provide children with an academically strong education and forces of love, learning, and engaged students with their own cultures and communities, as well as others.
Nations, interests, and opinions. But the charter schools are not about unanimity. They're about public school choice. They're about responding to unmet needs. The Pennsylvania Charter School Appeals Board has ruled that according to charter law, it is the degree of support for the proposed charter plan, not the opposition, that is relevant. We recognize that the school district isn't bound by Act 22, but we urge you to enact the spirit of the charter law. As you vote today, focus on the unmet need of the many, many immigrant students and families who want our school to be their public school of choice. The current reality is that English language learners and Asian American students confront cultural and linguistic barriers to public school choice and in their education. Of all the Philadelphia charter schools, there were only 2 charter schools with any limited English proficient students that also had Asian students enrolled. These are both high schools. Total Asian enrollment at these 2 schools, 15 students. Between 2000 and 2003 alone, there were 19,000 new immigrants to Philadelphia. Let our school be part of the school district's plan to address the needs of the children of these new immigrants. Our school proposal has always been envisioned as broad-based and multi-ethnic. But we now find that we must focus our testimony today on Chinatown in order to address the attacks on our charter proposal. It's been argued that there's no need for a public elementary school in Chinatown since students are well served by Holy Redeemer and McCall. We are happy for those parents who are satisfied with their school options, but it is unfair for those parents who can afford private school tuition, for those who are happy with their public school choice, for those who do not have school-age children. It is unfair for those parents to say no to school choice when other parents are so desperate for our charter school as an option.
Right on, right on.
There was a time when Chinatown was less complicated than it is today. Community members tended to come from the same region, shared the same dialect, had a common history. But Chinatown's changed dramatically. New immigrants coming from a different region of China have changed the face of Chinatown. We are asking you to base your decision today on the needs of the growing new immigrant population. We ask you to hear the words of the leaders of the overwhelming majority of Chinatown family associations. We ask you to consider the testimony from the parents looking for public school choice who have come before you for the past 3 SRC meetings. And I, as a parent, ask you to allow us to build a school with a vision of respect for culture, arts, and community for our children. Thank you.
建美，本人係中華公所董事長。今日我係代表中華公所屬下9個社團嘅團體，另外係代表華人工商聯合會喺呢度發言。
My name is Kin Wing Mok, and I'm the chairman of the Chinese Benevolent Association, an organization that has existed for 75 years as a leadership in Chinatown. We are made of 9 associations. I'm also speaking for the Chinese Merchants Association, and Mr. Chen, who is also speaking, represents the 6 Fujianese associations. Collectively, we represent the recognized leadership in Chinatown. I will be translating his speech. In front of me, and each one of you has already received a letter signed by 95% of the Chinatown Family Associations, collectively representing over 25,000 Chinese residents of Philadelphia, giving their full support to this school. Each of us separately wrote letters of support many months ago. However, we got together and wrote and signed this particular letter in December in direct response to the first reports we heard that some individuals in Chinatown oppose this proposal for their own selfish reasons. We hear misleading statements from people who claim to represent Chinatown. Let's be clear. We, all of us, support this charter school from day one. We all wrote letters of support for Asian Americans United's application. You have our letters in your files. Why is the support of our community still being questioned? Why are we a community without a public elementary school? Why are our children forced to be bused outside of our own community? We have written our letters of support. We have come to you week after week after week. Our parents tell painful, shameful stories about their needs. We are people who love our children, love our families. It pains us to tell you how our children are hurt, how some families even need to send their children to China because of the lack of school choice. In our culture, to come before you in the public and tell these stories is almost too much to bear. And still, we hear our voices aren't counting. Week after week, we ask you. So now we have come to you again. Our community has come to you. We have brought all these people who support us, even in the middle of a workday. We ask again, how can you deny the voices of so many people? How many times do we need to come? We want to know if you will hear us now. We support this school, we want this school, and we are entitled to this school.
我在此代表所有的福建社团和全体福建乡亲全力支持今年秋季能够在中国城办特许学校。因为的时间问题，我用我的方言给我申请。
My name is Jin Hu Chen, the president of China Association of Philadelphia. I am speaking on behalf of all 23,000 Fujianese people from all 6 Fujianese associations in the Philadelphia area in our full support for the Folk Art Culture Treasure Charter School. I'll be reading the translation for the rest. In recent years in Philadelphia, the population of new immigrants have been growing steadily and dramatically. The majority of recent Chinese immigrants come from Fujian province, and the majority of residents in Chinatown are from Fujian as well. We believe that only Fujianese organizations have first-hand knowledge and understanding of difficulties and needs of our members. Limited by the language and cultural barriers, most of our members run their livelihood around Chinatown. We consider Chinatown as our home, as our second hometown. Many places around the world has provided the city of Philadelphia with new energy in our local economy. However, public services have not kept pace with the growing population. Particularly, public schools have fallen far short of growing demand. The public schools for poor families, do not meet their needs. We know that recent immigrants are sometimes forced to move in search of education for their children. If public school and other public services cannot keep pace with the needs of immigrants, the economic growth in Philadelphia will suffer. Education is the foundation for social progress. Immigrants contributed to America in a unique way. Chinatown is the community many immigrants have called home in Philadelphia for over 150 years. Therefore, a school that respects culture and is sensitive to the immigrants can succeed in Chinatown with the support of all of us. We know so well what immigrants need. We strongly believe that charter school proposed by AAU will be a perfect school in meeting the needs of recent immigrants. We long for this school and for the chance for us all to help build this beautiful place. I am asking you sincerely for your votes in support of this charter school. Thank you.
我本人咧就係叫謝福晶，我代表呢個唐人街嗰家長成員之一，因為我哋呢個家長會咧有100多人嘅家長咧就簽咗名嘅，因為呢個佢哋因為工作同埋呢個冇時間參加呢個會議，所以咧我代表呢100幾個家長會咧喺呢度發表下我自己嘅建議同埋睇法。我亦都曾經咧喺亞裔聯合會做呢個家長協會成員，多年嚟咧喺呢個努力同埋改善華埠居民及公立學校對學校嘅學生嘅待遇同埋家長會嘅致力，為學童爭取校車嘅服務啊，學校呢個設施咧雙語個教育啊，同埋麥科嗰個雙語教育同埋南費城嗰個雙語教育咧，我哋都可以爭取到。我本人咧 並曾經參加過全費城嘅兒童教育，進行呢個經濟嗰度向呢個有經嘅部門咧就爭取嗰個經費，同埋參加嗰個AAU 舉辦嗰個 Summer School 嗰個經費我都有參加過，同埋咧喺呢個喺 AAU 呢個冇經費嘅組織裏邊咧，好關難咁樣嘅環境底下都堅持不懈咁樣為我哋唐人街嘅家長所有子女服務。咁樣咧，我喺呢個即係冇太多時間啦，參加社區活動嘅問題下，就算參與以上爭取到呢啲嘅利益咧，我都為我哋嘅子女教育咧有好大嘅冒犯。我喺家長會了解嘅時候咧，我對家長嘅亞裔聯合會開辦學校，我哋有不能夠再等啦。我亦都希望在座各位領導人士，即係俾我哋唐人街咧有一所特殊嘅學校，即係為呢個社區咧爭取一間公立學校，係已經係即係急不及待㗎啦。所以咧，我以家長嘅讓我哋所有嘅家長咧喺呢個工作上啊，同埋呢個探訪子女咧，同埋有一所中國人舉辦嘅學校咧，係比較即係方便好多啦，方便啲家長同埋老師嘅溝通啊，對呢個教育咧亦都有好大嘅幫助。儘管我哋對我哋兩個子女嚟講咧，我有兩個子女得唔到呢個夢想，但係將來咧亦都係嚟得太慢啦。希望即係教育部咧，即係俾我哋呢個權利，能夠喺盡快嘅時間裏邊咧，能夠得到呢間學校。咁呢個咧都係我哋即係新移民啊所一大嘅希望嚟嘅。尤其喺新移民嘅子女同埋家庭裏邊有優良嘅教育咧，樹立一個好嘅榜樣，咁樣將每個新移民都可以引以為榮，得到一間即係咁好嘅學校。係。
I'm going to translate for her. Her name is Fujian Ji, and she is a public school parent.
Miss, we have so many speakers today that I respectfully request that you submit the translated testimony into the, we have that, and we'll note that, and we can move on to the next speaker.
Okay.
I'd be appreciative if you would do that.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Dr. Robert Johnson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent, CEO Ballas, to the Board Commission members. It is our earnest wish on behalf of the Asian Americans United and the Philadelphia Folklore Project and the 1,500 others who have written letters of support, many others who are here today tendering their support for the Folk Art Cultural Treasures Charter School. My personal presence here today is to express the support not only of the new United Majority, that is an organization of Asians, Africans, Hispanics, African Americans who have come together to form the United New Majority, over which they have asked me to preside. Equally so, I am here on behalf of the Black clergy of Philadelphia and vicinity. President Bishop Ernest Morris is our sitting president, and have asked me to make this appeal. We have for a long time been advocates of quality education for all people, particularly minorities. We've been supporters of educational reform, funding legislation, small class size, new facilities, improved curriculum, teacher recertification, computer technology in every classroom, parental involvement, and community support to reduce crime in and around our city schools. We have provided active leadership in the Pennsylvania campaign for public education. We have lobbied state legislators and drafted community-based forums for increased funding for our students. Our history, Mr. Chairman, speaks for itself. You might say that we are abolitionists against disparity and disestablishment opportunities that so frequently plague minorities. Upon the least, which tends to discredit any plan that they may have for the betterment and advancement of their communities. This body, you the members of the School Reform Commission, must not deny this application and disappoint this entire community and divest the city of a progressive initiative such as is latent in this request. The question with the Folk Arts Cultural Treasures Charter School, starting from grades K to 5, is very easily settled if all the requirements have been satisfactorily met. Permit me to point out to you just these few peculiarities and characteristics.
Reverend Shine, with all due respect, and I'm very, very respectful when I ask you this, if you would just summarize as soon as possible.
In brief, we appeal to this commission to give approval to the Folks Art Charter School. I believe that today that can be done, and the Chinese community and the AAU can go forward in providing progressive educational, quality education for the young people that will mean a great deal for our city and for their family life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Our next assistant speaker, Mr. Nicholas, will not be speaking. Is that correct? Yes. All right. And therefore, our next speaker is Kenneth Wong.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the School Reform Commission for the opportunity to present my testimony before you. My name is Kenneth Wong, and I've been actively involved in the Asian community for the last 20 years as a volunteer. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and proud to say that I am a product of the Philadelphia public school system. And I'm quite familiar with the dynamics of the city neighborhoods and the educational needs of children in our city. I'm here to state that I'm not in support of the charter application for Novo Elementary School in Chinatown for the following reasons. An elementary charter school would duplicate services that already exist in the community. Currently, Chinatown is serviced by McCall Elementary and Holy Redeemer. Both of these schools have been doing an excellent job for many generations. The preschool and kindergarten age children are also being served by a number of existing schools that accept enrollment from the entire Delaware Valley area. The addition of another elementary school would dilute the current student population and resources, therefore weakening the foundations of these schools. The socioeconomic impact, in my opinion, would have a negative effect that would hinder the two existing schools and the third school. In actuality, the majority of the Asian American children that need these important educational services reside outside of the Chinatown community and other parts of the city of Philadelphia. Doesn't it make more sense to provide these valuable educational programs in the neighborhood that those targets where the population resides? Transportation becomes an important issue in this subject. During the morning and after school rush hours in the Chinatown area, children will be on school buses for as much as an hour each way, if not longer. This is not safe for children of this age bracket to be on a school bus this long. Many of the families have businesses that open until very late, and they have to get up an hour or so earlier to get their children ready for school. It will pose a problem. Continuous tardiness and absenteeism to school will take away from the education process for the children. McCall Elementary School is a 1-mile ride from Chinatown. In reverse, if the school district were to bus children in from other parts of the city to a charter school in Chinatown, that ride would be much longer both in distance and in time. I don't want to see children on a school bus any longer than they have to be if this is the mode of needed transportation. I've also heard that the additional school bus transportation would be in the area of $2 million. Not that we want to place a dollar amount on the value of our children's well-being and education, but we all must be prudent with the limited resources that are available and spend these dollars wisely. In my capacity as a commissioner appointed by the White House to the President's Advisory Commission for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, I had the opportunity, along with the Executive Director and a Commissioner from the Governor's Commission on Asian Americans, to tour South Philadelphia High School, Nebutron Elementary, Kirkbride Elementary, and McCall Elementary schools this past Monday. Our group witnessed quality dual language programs being conducted by experienced Asian American educators. The students were not only Asian Americans, but non-Asians also. In my opinion, these programs were very rich in culture and language, and many of our needs are being met. I had the opportunity to speak to a young African American student that was typing a letter in Chinese to his pen pal in Taiwan. I asked him how long he'd been studying Chinese. His response was 6 years. These are programs of quality that attract students that are both Asian and non-Asian. And I believe this is the spirit of the educational experience we want for our children. This provides an environment that provides language and culture for both the Asian Americans and non-Asian children.
Could you summarize, please?
Yes. In summation, I believe that these programs that are existing now in the elementary schools can be duplicated in more schools to provide these services throughout the city of Philadelphia, not just in one section of the city, because the population of the Chinese community exists everywhere in the city and not just in Chinatown. And I believe that it would be prudent on our part economically and fiscally responsible to look at these issues and look at these alternatives as opposed to spending all this money on a charter school in one section of the city. Thank you.
I'm the parents of the Chinatown. I came to the United States from Hong Kong in 1982. I have either lived or worked in Chinatown for the past 23 years. I have two school-age children and I currently work at Jefferson Hospital. I have many opportunities to discuss neighborhood issues with other members of the Chinese community. I understand the value of a good education and naturally I want the best for my children. My top priority is that my children develop strong values. For this reason, I wouldn't trust AAU with the education of my children. These are some of my reasons. I consider allowing my children to participate in their summer program, but when I visited the site, I was very upset at the lack of guidance by the adult coordinators. Children were using profanity in both English and Chinese languages. I don't want my children in such an unhealthy environment. AAU has not been able to continue running most of their programs, including the summer program. In fact, they no longer even have an office in Chinatown. And AAU has many promises to the Chinese community about the charter school. They have promised that they will accept all students who wish to attend their school, especially certain groups of new immigrants. They have promised that they will focus on Chinese culture and that they will provide transportation to the school from any neighborhood. AAU has even said that they will start a high school after the elementary school is up and running. But I have heard that this charter school is going to be a multicultural school, and that charter school cannot accept all students who apply. This leads me to wonder how AAU will keep all the promises they have made. AAU seems to tell different groups of people different things. For example, I attend Chinatown meeting about the charter school, and AAU told us that they could not tell the exact location of the charter school or who would be the principal, even though I have recently heard the location from someone outside of this community. I know of many people who still do not know about this situation. As a taxpayer, I want to see my hard-earned money to support the wholesome programs run by consistently successful organizations. I'm happy that the school district wants to invest in the Chinese community. There are many ways that the school district can support this community, but I do not believe this proposal is the best way to do it. Thank you. Have a nice day.
If the Folk Arts Charter School is approved, all the progress that we have made for McCall and the Center City Schools will be jeopardized. The Folk Arts Charter School will essentially drain McCall of one of the things that makes it wonderful, our Chinatown community. It will also remove significant population from the school. This will cause our numbers to drop precipitously, which will have dire consequences on funding, faculty, and neighborhood perception. McCall has a significant Chinese identity, but it also allows for the cherished diversity that we all seek when we live in a city like Philadelphia and choose public school. This is evidenced by the Chinese curriculum in all aspects of the school. My children study Mandarin Chinese daily, as do all students at McCall. There is a Chinese New Year celebration with performances by the orchestra, Chinese drum corps, Chinese dance club, and an array of class performances. My kindergarten-age daughter was the rooster in the Year of the Rooster program this year in the Chinese New Year play, which emphasizes the fact that all children participate in these valuable programs. Last year, my son performed with the first grade class in the Chinese ribbon dance. I want these experiences for my children, as do the other McCall parents. If we lose the Chinese population, we will lose these programs too. Rather than destroy a program that is already successful, why not expand it? Improvements could be made to the McCall bilingual program to meet a wider array of needs for this community. McCall is already a wonderful school. It seems more reasonable to supplement an existing school with specialized programs than to create a whole new school based on a specialized idea, particularly when it is at the expense of an ongoing success story. Please do not take these unique educational and multicultural opportunities away from my children and the children of McCall. If the SRC truly believes in the Center City Schools initiative, you must deny the Folk Arts Charter School. Otherwise, you will defeat the initiative before it begins. Thank you for your willingness to consider this.
My name is Andrew Toy, and I'm the president of the board of the Philadelphia Chinatown Development Corporation, or PCDC. PCDC represents Chinatown, the area roughly bounded by 8th Street to Broad Street and Filbert to Spring Garden Street. As you may know, PCDC began out of a movement over 35 years ago to save the Holy Redeemer Church and School from removal by the Vine Street Expressway construction. PCDC's mission is to preserve, protect, and promote Chinatown as a viable ethnic, commercial, and residential community. PCDC represents Chinatown all matters pertaining to community development, zoning, housing, and even some social services. PCDC is responsible for over 240 housing units over the years, including unlocked house for senior citizens. Today, the board of PCDC represents a diversity of groups within the community, including recent immigrants and second and third generation Asian Americans. I've been an active board member for about 15 years. I also have a special interest in Philadelphia public schools, as I do have 2 children currently attending and a mother who taught in the Philadelphia School District for over 30 years. I want to make it clear that I'm not here today to disparage any group or its motives to improve the broader community by building a new charter elementary school in Chinatown. I'm friendly with most of those involved, and I believe them to be well-intentioned. However, good intentions can often result in negative unintended consequences. After careful deliberations, PCDC's board has decided to oppose this application for that reason. In examining the Chinatown community and its needs, we're greatly concerned about the negative impact the new school will have upon the 2 existing elementary schools that now serve the community. And the board believes that both Holy Redeemer School and McCall Elementary are good schools that serve the community. Not very long ago, members of the community, including charter school advocates here, organized to successfully obtain bus service to McCall from Chinatown. Today, McCall, even as you've heard, even offers bilingual Chinese classes. Holy Redeemer is also an institution in Chinatown that has been the cornerstone for many families, both Catholic and non-Catholic. If these schools are serving the community well now, why would we jeopardize that service? In particular, Holy Redeemer would have to shut down if there were not enough students enrolled. If there are issues at McCall, then we need to address those head-on, not create a new school. In fact, the timing couldn't be worse for this proposed change because the district is just rolling out a new Center City schools plan that includes McCall and all of Chinatown, providing additional choices for parents. Although there has been some discussion that the new charter elementary school is not just for Chinatown, one of the guiding premises put forward by the promoters is that Chinatown does not have enough services and deserves its own.
Summarize, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is for these reasons that I must reiterate PCDC's position that it is not the right place nor the right time to be opening a new elementary charter school and risking our existing community assets. We hope that you will deliberate thoughtfully on these issues, and we appreciate the opportunity to voice these opinions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is George Moore, and I've been a member of the Holy Redeemer Chinese Catholic Church and School since its inception in the 1940s. In fact, my signature is on a piece of paper that was placed in the cornerstone of the main structure as it was being dedicated. Now, rather than read the rest of the written notes, I'd like to go into the ins and outs of our community. Chinatown is like a fine watch. You need to know all the parts that make it tick. Three churches are an integral part of the work and work harmoniously together. The people supply the energy. Civic organizations provide the link to all the parts so that they communicate with each other and try not to duplicate their services. I have some questions. It's the Asian American United that is proposing this charter school, yet their concentration is on just one ethnic group. They say that they're going to be teaching, I understand, Mandarin. Are they neglecting the other Asians that are part of their, I presume to be part of the group since your name is Asian? Also, they are not located in Chinatown. Holy Redeemer is a community school. Nicole is a community school. Initially, when the need arose for a public school to address the problems presented by new immigrants, Nicole listened and worked with the community and developed programs that are to be duplicated in maybe other schools. You'll have to excuse my senior members. I don't want to repeat what others are saying, but I want to emphasize that you have a community that's working well. It's a success. It's, I think, an ideal community in terms of that can be replicated in other neighborhoods where you don't have delinquency. Do you see graffiti in Chinatown? That's because the youth are respect authority. Okay, this needs to be duplicated in other parts of the community. If the Asian American United is located there in South Philadelphia, where there is a greater need, then why aren't they looking there to provide the services that they're indicating? The parents will be closer to the school, in which, if something happens, the school can call the parents up and say, look, we need to work out a problem. In Chinatown, even though
excuse me, could you?
I'm just going to say, in Chinatown, where the parents are working maybe 12 hours a day, if some problems arise, let's say the children need a little pocket money, they can go to the parents working in Chinatown and maintain that contact even though they're working 12 hours. So it's that ability for these parents being close by to their school-age children that help keep Chinatown an ideal community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Board.
My hope that this decision will not be divisive in what is a very important community, the environs of Philadelphia. And I think I'd like to predict that in time it will work itself out. I also have a different view of the debate that developed in and around charters. I actually wish it had been brief, but I think the time committed to it was important and of great value. It's indicative to me of the power and influence of the charter movement in Philadelphia and how important it is and how it will spread across the country. I also believe that you can end up with 3 very good schools in this neighborhood, not just 1 or 2. The process may have been a little bit longer than people wanted it to be, but I think the end result is going to be the best interest of the children of Philadelphia. And I'd like to make another prediction because, as everyone knows, I haven't hidden this fact. I'm a great proponent of charter schools. I'd like to make a prediction separate from this. Within possibly a decade, we will have 50,000 students in charter schools in Philadelphia. That means Pittsburgh has 40,000 students. That doesn't mean that the other competing entities in the city of Philadelphia will become weaker. I think public schools will become stronger, and I think Catholic schools will become stronger, independent schools will become stronger, and charter schools will be strong. I think the competition is best for young people and for students, and that's why I'm enthusiastic.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. Bednarik?
Yes.
Chairman Devils?
Yes. resolution as amended. The resolution